There's a lot of information floating around about the current market. For those of you that know me, I am a numbers girl, and we're going to focus on the statistics. So right now I'm going to concentrate on July in the Outer Banks. So this is very specific to the Outer Banks. So we have seen a seasonal slowdown in July. The numbers are the softest in both sales volume and units sold this year, but that is normal. So the last 2 years have been a little uncharacteristic, but having a slower July is normal. Most of our, we're more of a rental market, so a lot of our rental properties, it's a hard time for them to go on the market because you can only see buyers can only see the property during changeover, which is only a few hours a day, and you're dealing with cleaning and sometimes early check-in. So July is historically a slower month. But there's still plenty of buyers out there. There's still a good demand with low inventory. That for the third month in a row, the average days in the market is still below 30 days. We are starting to see the new listings come on that are more aggressively priced. And I'm not saying they're priced lower. I'm just, 6 months ago, if I was working with a seller, we'd say, hey, here's the market value. You can list up here. You can list between here and here. That top of my range, really pushing the market, and kind of talked with my seller about strategically with their house and their plans. Right now, I think sellers are more having to list closer to market value. And if they're really trying to test that market, they're likely sitting. So let's talk about some facts in July. So on average, property sold for 90% of the asking price. In June, it was about 98, so just slightly lower. July was the 25th consecutive month. So, we're talking over 2 years where both the average asking and selling price posted an increase over the previous year. So prices are still increasing. What we're seeing though, is we've had our appreciation was 2 to 3% per month. So that has really slowed. So we're not seeing deappreciation, but we are seeing deacceleration. So the rate of appreciation is decreasing. But we still, experts are still saying that we're going to see appreciation, just not at the rates we have been, which makes sense. 28 of the properties sold for over $1 million, 4 of which sold for over $3 million. So we still have a good luxury presence in the Outer Banks. And the highest sale of the month was in Martins Point for $3.9 million. For those of you that aren't familiar with Martins Point, it's a community right when you go over the bridge, but it's different in that it's one of the very few communities on the Outer Banks that does not allow for weekly rentals. So that neighborhood is mainly second homes and primary residence. So let's talk more about July. So there are 149 homes sold in July, so that's, I think in June it was 209. So it is a bit of a difference from June. Days in the market is about the same, 2 days higher, but same range there. Average sales price is actually up about 10 grand from June. So average sales price still holding strong. So, but year to date, units are down 25% and sales volume is only down 8%. And part of that is because the sales prices continue to climb, and the current median sales price of $599,000, which, that's including not just single family homes, that's including lots, condos, everything. That represents a 24% increase year over year. So, sales prices are still up substantially and are continuing to climb, that we can see from the data. Now, real estate does tend to lag sometimes because most of our closings are about 45 days. Cash closings are a little quicker. Some mortgages, might be 60 days. So anyway, so we might see that adjust a little bit, but still the price point's there. Active inventory. Now this is surprising because everybody talks about, the market really slowing down, but active inventory is down 18% in Dare County and 27% in Currituck County. So low inventory is going to keep, keeping this market in a seller's market. Now for buyers, we're not seeing as many multiple offer kind of thing. So, I think it's a better atmosphere for a lot of buyers. They might be able to negotiate some, they can negotiate on price, repairs, things like that. So it is a little different, but overall, we are still in the seller's market. So there are several areas that the inventory levels are down over 20% than this time last year. Now, mind you, sales are down, but sales are down, but this inventory is a big indicator. So Duck, the inventory is down from last year, 38%. Corolla, not including the four-wheel drive, is down 36%. Nags Head, 38%. Hatteras Island, down 24%. Now, areas like Coldwell Hills, Kitty Hawk, they're down as well, just not as significant as those areas I just mentioned. So I'm also going to touch real quick on the rental market. So I deal directly with sales, but of course, when you're in a secondary market, a lot of you, it crosses with the rentals as well. So we have a sister company, and Michelle Russell, who I communicate with often to ask questions, and just to, know what's going on, shared a little bit of insight with us. So this year we've seen a return. So the past 2 years, we had a really strong shoulder season. And that was partially because so many people were working from home, and schools weren't always they weren't in session. They were in session. They were just not in person, things like that. So those factors, so 2020 and 2021 gave us very strong seasonal markets, or I guess I should say shoulder markets. So later fall and early spring. So that has slowed down a little bit for the spring. Fall, though, is shaping up very nicely. Occupancy is down about 6.2% this year. Now that might change because they're still booking up for fall. However, home revenue is up 18%. There was such an increase in the rates, and they're still renting that, even though the occupancy was less, the sales, the revenue was more. So for reference, the average daily rate is now $388 per day, and that's the average of the rental properties. So of course, it's a big difference between an ocean front and et cetera. But that is a 26 increase compared to 2021. So those prices have gone up. Reservation volume has increased over 20% since 2020. So, definitely changes in our rental market, but still, I know I've spoken with some of my clients who their rentals have been excellent this year. So rental is still super strong. And as we continue to book for the fall, those occupancy rates and revenue will still continue to climb. So I hope this information was helpful. If you have any questions about the Outer Banks market, buying or selling, please contact me, and I'm happy to chat with you about it.